All right, y'all. Hey. So this is Nikki Blue on TikTok and Blue Star 3 on YouTube. Wow. So I didn't know this, but today was probably my last trip to the gym because I can't afford to keep going. And my friend can't take me, so now no more gym. Which, if I knew it was my last time, I would have made a ton more videos and worked out twice as hard. But, things happen. But I did feel a little out of place at my gym. And I hate being a complainer, but I'm really good at it. I just notice more and more when I go to the gym here and just around this town that this place is designed and made for old, rich people. And I think that's what this town wants to be known for is the retirement capital of Tennessee and the US. And it's turning into that. I mean, it was like that when I was a kid, but now it's like taking a whole new light. Like now they're advertising all these $1 million houses in this town, which is on a plateau, y'all. There's no ocean, there's no mountains. Like, I don't understand why everyone comes here to retire, except for the fact that there's no taxes. And I guess rich people just never want to pay taxes. So, Crossville is the old rich people capital of the world. Because I was in the gym today, and 75% of the people, actually more like 80%, were all really old and really rich. And you can just tell by the way they treat the young people and the workers. They feel like they're high above everyone. And I guess, in their mind, they earned it, because a lot of people here are from New York City or some northern city. They're retired, they have a lot of money, and they feel entitled and that, they're way better than other people, which they're treated that way, so they're going to keep acting that way. But I won't lie, I can't wait to get out of this town because of that main reason, because there is so many old people here, and they're all so rich, and they just look at regular people and poor people like me that we're just pieces of shit, and that we're here to serve them 100%, which you have to do if you want to keep your job around here. So, like, you do have to kind of worship the ground they walk on, and they love it. And it's just, I knew this long ago too. That's why I left as soon as I turned 18. But having to come back and living here for another year and just seeing how worse it's gotten. I mean, it was bad when I was a kid, but now it's like 10 times worse because, the cost of living is so high that people my age that live here either have to work 3 jobs and, they work all the time and they never have any free time, or they do drugs, and that's just like all there is to do around here. I'm never doing drugs again, so, and I don't want to. It's just a waste of a life to do drugs and be an addict. And I know I need to get a job, but it's just so hard when you don't have a car and you live in a rural area. See, that's my problem, y'all. I live 3 miles out of town, so I can't take advantage of public transit. And so some of my friends from other states, they're like, well, why don't you just walk? Well, there's no sidewalk, and I have walked to like the closest church to me and almost got hit twice by cars. The roads are very, very slender. They're windy, they're hilly, and there's no sidewalk, and nobody knows how to drive with people on the side of the road because they get used to Tennessee, and especially when you're in a small town like Crossville, they're not used to pedestrians on the side of the highway, and so you almost get hit all the time. And they're doing road construction on every road in town, and so there's really no place to walk. And just my experience walking on the main roads is just scary because people drive like they're in a hurry to get somewhere, so they don't pay attention to people on the side of the road. And then there's no sidewalk, and there's just literally there's not even a shoulder to walk on. You literally have to like walk in the grass. And the bridges are so old and narrow that, and plus it's a long walk. And that's just a 3 mile walk to get to the city sign. There's no bus stops. There's no public transit stops. So like even when I get to the city limit, I'm still another 4 miles from the actual city where there is public transit, which are just these like fan things. And so, I miss the city life. I do. It's expensive, I know, but it's easier to survive without a car because you have the buses, and you live close enough to things where you don't have to have a car. Because let's face it, I'm never going to own a car again for the rest of my life. There's no way I can ever afford one. And the car insurance would be more than the car. And so, like, I've already given up my dreams of ever having a car again. And, I got to look for the future. And my best bet is to live closer to in a city where I can take a bus and walk and take a bus. I can totally do that. But, I'm frustrated. It's so hard living in a town that's just all they care about is satisfying the retirees and people with money and people who are older. They say, screw you, F you if you're young. They refuse to raise taxes, so they won't build anything for the youth. There's no rec center. I supported it at the beginning of the year when I got out and found out that they were trying to build one. It didn't get passed. They threw it out because nobody wanted to pay the taxes to have a rec center like a YMCA with a swimming pool and exercise equipment and a gymnasium for kids. It ain't gonna happen. They decided not to do it because they don't want to pay the taxes. And that's why the retirees come here, because they can buy a mansion and not have to pay taxes, which I know you guys watch it and are like, yeah, I want to live there now. But, call me a sucker, and I probably am. I'd rather pay a little bit of taxes and live in an area that might have an ocean and a mountain and a park, because there's no parks here. So it's just like, it's just really hard. And that's how they're able to keep taxes low, is because there is no amenities for the community. And there's all these retirement communities. And I understand why old people move here, old, rich people, because they're around their own kind. They're around their own flock. They're with their own people. And I'm glad they have an area like this that they can come to. But unfortunately, it makes life for everyone else that isn't rich, who isn't old, not that great. That's why for a long time, Crossville was the drug capital of Tennessee. I don't think it is anymore, but there's still a lot of it around. And I'm lonely. Most people my age, like I said, they either work 3 jobs for $8 an hour, because minimum wage here is still $7.25. And they either work all the time or they do drugs. So I'm pretty lonely now. And I spent a whole video bitching. But I do feel glad that it's out of my system, because it's hard. I guess if you're watching and you have a lot of money and you're older, this is the place for you, because there's a lot of you here. So move to Crossville if you want to live with old rich people, because this is where it's happening. This is where it's at. But people like me that want a city life, not a good place. Anyways, I don't know how long I can take it, because it's hard. I want to move on. I love you guys, and I hope you all have a good weekend, and don't blow away. This is Nikki Blue on TikTok and Bluestar3 on YouTube. And I love you guys. Thanks for hearing me yap and bap and bitch and Okay, I'm not gonna say that.